His death was ruled an accident, but the family disagrees. Was there an actual crime committed here? Let's break it down. Riley Strain was a 22-year-old who was born in Springfield, Missouri. He graduated from Kickapoo High School, and he was a senior at the University of Missouri, where he was studying both business and financial planning. Now, he had finished his internship for his senior year, so he was getting ready to graduate, and it was all coming together. Well, he went on a trip to Nashville for a private event that was connected to his fraternity's spring formal. On March the 8th of 2024, Riley and his fraternity brothers are in downtown Nashville on Broadway, having fun, going to the different bars that are open late at night, including Casa Rosa, Friends in Low Places, Kid Rock's Big Honky Tonk, and Luke's 32 Bridge. Now, around 9:35 in the evening, for some reason, Riley is escorted out of Luke's 32 Bridge. Why he was escorted out, there's differing things going on. Some of it says it was how he was acting. Some of it says that it was because of misconduct, but we do not have the official reason why that happened. But he was escorted out and made to leave. After Riley left Luke's, there's surveillance video that shows him walking around downtown Nashville alone. And we can see him coming out of a parking garage, and he stumbles, and it appears that he either hits his head, hits his body, but he falls into a pole. He was later seen near First Avenue and Gay Street, which was closer to the riverfront. A police officer's body cam footage shows his interaction with Riley that night around Gay Street shortly before Riley disappeared. They have a conversation, very brief, just hello, how are you doing? But the police officer didn't notice anyone that was following Riley or that Riley was in any kind of distress. He didn't stop him. He didn't detain him or anything like that. He didn't see anything that was out of the ordinary. Riley's fraternity brothers didn't notice that he was missing until the next day, and at that point, they called 911 and reported him missing.
What is his name? His name is Riley Strain. Okay, and what color clothing was he last seen wearing? He's wearing jeans, boots, and a half black shirt, half brown, light brown.
The search quickly expanded across downtown Nashville and along the Cumberland River. Police, fire crews, emergency management, wildlife officers, everybody became involved in this. And as the days passed, the case drew national attention, and pressure on investigators intensified because you have a college student who basically disappeared into thin air and no one knows what happened to him. During the search, Riley's family gave public updates so that everyone would stay engaged. Riley's story would stay out there, and if anyone had information, they would keep that coming so they could find Riley and bring him home.
It's been hard being from out of town, being from 6.5 hours away, to put a structured program together when you don't know everywhere that you're at, you don't know the lay of the land as well, you don't have your family and your resources that are in your hometown to be able to help guide you and lean on to build an organized search. And that has bothered us.
On March the 17th of 2024, Riley's bank card was found on an embankment between Gay Street and the Cumberland River. Now, this kind of ruled out robbery, even though they weren't sure just yet, because generally a robber's not going to leave behind the bank card. However, they still weren't sure. They were still looking, but this focused them into that area even more as the search for Riley continued. On the morning of March the 22nd of 2024, river workers discovered a body in the Cumberland River several miles away from downtown Nashville.
911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I'm at 1740 61st Avenue North, Nashville, Tennessee. I just
61st Avenue North in the nation's office of Centennial?
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened?
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
Okay. And you said you guys found a dead body?
Yes, ma'am, in the river. We unload barges at this facility,
What
and
does it look
I was
like?
checking around my dock. It's definitely got a person, hair, black shirt, kind of like a white, muddy looking on the front. It's face down in the water.
Shirt?
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Caucasian.
It looks like a male?
Yes, ma'am.
Police recovered the body and it was later identified as Riley Strain. And at that point in time, based on what they could see and the physical condition of his body, no foul play was suspected. After the recovery, the University of Missouri issued a statement mourning Riley, and then his family went on to accept his degree on his graduation day. In June of 2024, Metro Nashville Police said that they concluded their investigation and then they gave their official findings. They said that Riley was heavily impaired, he was unfamiliar with the area and the terrain, and that he fell down a steep, dark embankment near Gay Street, fell into the Cumberland River, and he accidentally drowned. The medical examiner's office basically reached the same conclusion. His blood alcohol level was 0.228, so the official autopsy report said that he died from accidental drowning and ethyl alcohol intoxication. So we have a good amount of data in the case, and that leads us to our major question. Was Riley overserved when he was, for lack of a better way to put it, kicked out of Luke's 32 Bridge bar? Was he too intoxicated to be allowed to leave by himself? Should someone have called an Uber to take him back to the hotel? We can tell by the surveillance videos. For one thing, he fell when he was leaving the parking garage, but then he kind of looks like he's stumbling a little bit in other surveillance videos. So was he too intoxicated to leave on his own? Should the bar have noticed that he was too intoxicated and quit serving him alcohol? Should they have called an Uber? Was his fraternity brothers responsible? Was the police officer not paying enough attention to where he should have maybe walked up to Riley, had a more in-depth conversation, and could he have discovered something a little more? Those are absolutely relevant questions to ask in this situation. So the Tennessee Alcohol and Beverage Commission did their investigation, and they determined the answer to that was no. After doing their interviews or following whatever process it is that they have in place, they determined that Riley was not overserved. There was no evidence that he was visibly intoxicated enough for any of the bartenders, especially the last bar, to stop serving him. So they found absolutely nothing according to their report. But for Riley's family, the fight wasn't over yet. On March the 21st of 2025, they filed a wrongful death lawsuit in Boone County, Missouri. And initially, the lawsuit named 32 different defendants, including the fraternity brothers, BCC Missouri, a property manager, and a bunch of other people. Their lawsuit alleges that failures surrounding the trip itself, the drinking, and even what happened after Riley was removed from the bar contributed to his death. So we're going back to the question that we had a few minutes ago where we said, should they have stopped serving him? Should they have called him an Uber to make sure he got back to the hotel? Should his fraternity brothers have kept an eye on him? Was there negligence in that they just kicked him out of the bar, left him to try to get back to his hotel on his own, and as a result, he died? In August of 2025, this lawsuit starts drawing more attention. The family is arguing that the fraternity and related defendants had a safety obligation. Again, what we talked about. But the defense argued they were not legally responsible for Riley's actions.
The allegations don't involve forced alcohol consumption. There's no allegations that Mr. Strain had a bottle of vodka taped to his hand, that this was free and voluntary intoxication by someone who could legally purchase and consume his own alcohol.
Riley Strain was offered and did consume Jello shots. He did those things, we claim, the entire trip across Missouri.
He's 22. He is out on the town. He is the one drinking or doing whatever. That is what the defense is saying. But the family's saying, again, call him an Uber. Make sure he gets back to the hotel instead of just throwing him out, and whatever happens, happens. A little bit after that, the lawsuit was amended and some of the defendants fell off of the lawsuit, including some of the fraternity brothers, and then the judge allowed other parts of the lawsuit to proceed forward. On December the 17th of 2025, a Boone County judge ruled in favor of several other defendants on the pleadings, so that narrowed the case down to just 9 defendants. As of today, March 17th of 2026, Riley Strain's death still remains an accidental drowning and not a homicide, and no one responsible for it. The wrongful death lawsuit is still in the court system being heard, and as soon as I have an update on that, I will get that out to you. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments because I'm genuinely curious, because we know this was an accident. He fell into the Cumberland River and he drowned. But a lot of things happened where he could have been overserved, or he was just kicked out of the bar and no one kept an eye on him to make sure he got back to the hotel. So I want to know what you think. Should anyone else be held responsible for that, or does it all fall on Riley? Follow Crimealytics so you don't miss out on any new cases or updates.